What's going on, everyone? Gelman with the Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me go ahead and hit record here, and we will get right into the video. So I'm sure all of you guys know, great green day for Apple, great green day in the markets, but specifically for tech stocks. They got a really nice rebound, a much needed rebound, right? So let's take a look at why we saw a rebound. So first things first, right? It's important to understand that a lot of things were just oversold. There's not a singular reason we can say the market was down yesterday and it's up today. There are a couple things though that happened that I want to point out that could have led to this rising, right? So the yield was down to 1.55%, but that was only from 1.6%. So that could play a part, the 10-year Treasury yield, but I don't think that necessarily was in the that was what caused it. The other reason is that President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus bill is expected to take up the House tomorrow, but also we knew that before, so it's not like that's new news today. The other news that came out today, you guys, is this right here, and this article talks a little bit about how many people are going to get stimulus checks and what they're going to spend their stimulus checks on. And if we scroll over here, a lot of people, 18 to 24-year-olds, were planning on using 40% of their stimulus checks on stocks, and the 35 to 54-year-olds were going to use 37% of their stimulus on the in equities in the stock market. Over 55 was 16%. So as we've seen kind of this increase of retail investors entering the market, right, that means that when they get this stimulus money, a lot of them are going to be using it for, investing in the stock market, which means a decent amount of inflow into the US equities market, right? What does that mean? That means about $150 billion could enter the stock market. And as you guys know, right, as more people are buying, as more money is flowing into the markets, that's what drives prices up. So it could be related to that. Maybe we see more of that coming in as well, but those are kind of some quick things that I wanted to cover before we, kind of get right into the stock. So again, great trading day for Apple. Let's take a look at how it was today. So if you guys remember yesterday, we, closed here, we were hitting up against 116, and I pointed out a couple things about the stock market that were worrying me, and I pointed out those levels. Thankfully, QQQs moved up and we didn't have to worry about kind of the levels that I pointed out. Although those levels are still very valid, if we see a little bit of a pullback, I'm really relieved that, we didn't see that today, because it was going to get a little worrying if we did. So again, hitting up against this level, our next level was 119. What we saw in the pre-market was, we gapped up really close to that level. We hit it a couple times, we broke above it, we came below it, and right out of the gate, what you see here is Apple just kind of loading up, right? Getting ready for that massive move up, down, up, down, up for the first like 30 minutes. Then it was like, all right, I'm about to take this to the next level, literally our level. And so pushed up all the way to 121.50, you guys, which was absolutely great to see. Take a look at our levels though, right? I know I get a lot of people don't believe in charts. Anyone can read them after the fact is a comment that I've seen over and over again. This is what charting can help you see. It doesn't tell you for sure whether you're going up or down, but it does show you, hey, if it's going up, where do we think it can turn around? Right here, pretty perfectly to the dot, you guys. Came right back down, bounced off VWAP. Again, another key thing that I look at on a daily basis is the VWAP for bounces, rejections, or reversals. So we went up to 121.50, we came back, we bounced again, and then we pushed up. This time, as you could see, right, we're hoping that we break this level. We did briefly, made it to 122, got rejected there. Right back down, broke below our level, came above, hung out, 122.06, made a slightly higher high, and then sold off into the close. Look, this sell-off into the close, totally normal. I mean, you're talking a stock still being up 4%, a stock like Apple being up 4%. Is absolutely amazing, and it's crazy to see. We seem to be pretty flat in the after hours, if I'm not mistaken. It's, 19 cents down. I don't know what's going on. But That's not too bad either. People locking in profits, totally normal. I actually like that rather than it ending the day right here and then us seeing a massive pullback tomorrow. So profit taking is always healthy. It's normal for the stock market. Should not worry us. So let's take a look at the daily chart. Now, I know that, looking at this day is very, very exciting. And if you guys know me, I've been one of the bigger bulls on Apple for a really, really long time. Throughout this whole sell-off, I hold my shares, I remain bullish, and I think that Apple is going to be a great company, which is why I continue to hold my shares. I also like to be cautiously optimistic, right? I am very optimistic, I'm very bullish, cautiously bullish though. What does that mean? That means that I'm not closing my eyes to any downsides that I see. Take a look here, you guys. We went from 122 to 127. More of a green move than we had today, and then we were followed with a few red days. Now, I'm not hoping for a red day, but also one day of massive green is not gonna kind of put away my worries of a bigger pullback, right? It could be another dead cat bounce like we saw here, and then we kept falling. So with that being said, let's cover our levels like we normally would, and then I'll share with you guys kind of my thoughts on the market towards the end of this video. So obviously, we were above this 121.50 level, which we are still above. And then, that we went above, but we didn't close above, so we're below it. So that's our first level of resistance. And then our next level of resistance is 123.69 and then 126.65. But what I want to point out is between 121.48 and 123.69, as you can see from the top wicks of the candle today and the candle 2 days ago on Friday, we've gotten rejected at that 122 level, right? So if we break 121.50 tomorrow, I'm looking for that 122 as a light resistance. I'm not going to draw a line just because they're super close. And then once it clears that, we go towards 123.69, then 126.65. On the downside, like we saw today, right, in the pre-market, that 119 level that we were hovering around, that would be the first level, and then below that is 116.99. What am I looking at for Apple to do? Well, I want Apple to ultimately go up to the 89 EMA. That's my first kind of price target for Apple, is the 125.41 level. Get above the 89 EMA. And the reason I talk about that is if we scroll out, right, I want you to focus on this very bottom line. And if we scroll back, right, I mean, this is me scrolling back all the way to August 2020. We've come down to it a couple times, touched it, and then went right back up. If I keep scrolling back, this is the pandemic beginning, which the stock market was just tanking, so it's below it, reasonable. And then we scroll back all the way, it's not until May 2019 that we were below it. And even then, if you take a look at, 510, where we kind of, or excuse me, 513, May 13, 2019, where we broke below it, by about 610, we came right above all the EMAs. So again, scrolling back here, that's the reason why I'm super, I really want Apple to take over that 89 EMA, because I think that's kind of our first step in what we need to do to then push up from there, right? So again, looking for Apple to capture 125.41. I think if we see, barring any crazy pullbacks this week, I think we should get there this week, 125.41, and then we'll kind of assess what the strength looks like and go from there, right? I've pointed out the levels though that I'm, maybe we get rejected there. So keep on the lookout for that. But our overall first kind of price target for Apple right now is 125.41. I'm hoping we get there tomorrow. Realistically though, by Thursday or Friday, hopefully we get there, assuming we see some more green days. RSI is now looking at about 41. So we're approaching kind of the 45 level that we were at last time before we started pushing down again. That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen again, just something I'm looking out for. So that's what I'm looking for, you guys. Remaining bullish, holding my Apple shares, holding that long July call that's down decently still. But that's why I bought a July call and not a March call, so I could hold on to it for my thesis to work out. Hoping for a turnaround on that, selling covered calls in the meantime to kind of, not just sit there doing nothing. Now, the QQQs are up almost 4%, about 4.5% at one point. And this was kind of what I'm talking about. Let me bring the drawings back. This 300 level, if you guys remember, was the level that I was talking about. The reason being we hit it in late August, early September. We hit it in October, we hit it in November. So it was really crucial that we bounced off of there. As you can see, we had a really, really nice gap up. We ended the day here at the 300 level. We opened at the 307. Nice, overnight futures gain. Nice gap up. We are now above the 89 EMA. We were getting rejected from that. I do think we have some resistance coming up though, as you can see in the 312s. So I think, you know, keeping an eye on that. And then as we approach kind of the 320 level, that'll be interesting to see. So I don't personally think we're, you know, out of the scary zone yet of the 300s, because it's still within reach, right? If we have a red day like we had a green day today, right, we're up 1183. If we have a couple red days in a row or one big red day, we could be hitting that 300 level. So that's why I'm staying cautiously optimistic, hoping for everything to move up, and I'm invested in the market, so I'm only benefiting from that, while also kind of keeping in mind that, you know, we are still closed and still uncertain, because I don't have a clear indication of where we're headed from here. You know, same thing with the S&P 500. We are starting to move up. This line that I had drawn, where we were, you know, getting rejected, and you know, getting rejected by this trend line, we finally broke above that. So what I'm hoping for, you guys, is if you on the hourly chart want to draw something similar, if we start to come back down, that we bounce off of this kind of 386, 385 level and push back up. So that's what I'm hoping for. The other thing that I want to point out here is that I think that, you know, clearly what you could see is if I were to draw a horizontal line right here, where we kind of got rejected today, right, at the 390 level, and then I were to draw a line here at the 392 level, I think that those are going to be some pretty important resistances that we hit up against. So if we're going up against it, those are the points on the S&P 500 where we may or may not be able to break through, and that's what I'm watching closely. If you take a look here, that's where we got rejected today. That's where we got rejected back on 3-1. That's also where we got rejected, you know, a couple times back here in February. Here, and then let me get rid of the indicator here real quick, and then 392 being that point that, look, we've gone up to 395 in the pre-market, right? Not denying that, but really 392 rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, and rejected there. So other than this one time that we broke above 392 to 395, we haven't really been able to successfully stay above 392, right? So 390 and 392 are the 2 points I'm looking at. I was looking at 390 today, seeing if we broke it. We were already up a decent amount, so it makes sense that we didn't break it today. But again, looking in the future to see if we can break there, right? So 390, 392 on the S&P. The reason I bring S&P and Qs is because, look, the QQQs are a tech-heavy sector. The S&P 500 is the market. Both of those need to be relatively doing well for Apple to also move up. Apple's not going to move up typically if those things are not doing well as well. So that's what I'm looking at, you guys. That's what I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are. Hope you guys all saw some green today. I know some of you guys picked up at the 118 level. Good for you guys, up already. Hopefully you guys are, you know, scaling in and out of positions as you should do. So that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.